I first started because I was waiting for years to do another movie. So after 8 years on working on another movie, and it was almost impossible to find the money to do it, I told to Pascal, come on, I think I'm going to quit this job. I'm going to do something else. And he said to me, it's not possible. So he proposed me a deal, holidays or shooting a movie. That's
because there was no question you were going to have, you were going to get these two guys in the film somehow.
It was so, when we start working on the film, it was, and when we thought about actors, it was, I remember, they were my first choice. I said, Jess is going to be the driver, Jonathan is going to be Luc. It was so easy.
Did you write the parts for them in mind?
Yeah, really, yeah. We wrote the script in 4 days. The first draft, sorry. We wrote it in 4 days.
And what was interesting to it, we worked before to shot. We didn't have a lot of time to work, but we did it, and we could have propositions to Julien for characters, and so I bring other things they didn't thought about it, and that was a great part of the job to think and to put more stuff in this kind of in this scenario. We wrote it in 4 days, so there was missing things,
For sure.
and we have worked a lot, and it was possible to see the characters, the evolution of the characters on this work.
Actually, I got something to say about that. What's funny, you say we were friends. I don't know about those guys, but I think in this business, when you work over the years, obviously when you start, you don't know that many people, but when you start doing short film, like you were saying, you produced one of the short film you worked on, you knew him since 14. Over the years, you start to make contact with various different people, and you are becoming friends within the industry, and then you think straight away of people you've been working with. I couldn't really say I was very close friend with those guys, but because we work over the years and they see you working, that's what happened. Now, talking about this, yeah, we all bring something to the character. In fact, I got something funny to say about that. You know, one of the scene, I'm actually naked in the film. We won't say why, we're not going to get a spoiler film. And I actually came up with it. I came to Julien, which I think wanted me to, but initially I was supposed to wear some pants. And I came with the idea thinking, you know what, I need to be naked in that scene. I think it's going to be more powerful. And he pretended to think about it, and obviously Jonathan backed me up on the one. Jonathan was like, yes, I think it's right. You should be naked. It's great. And then, Julien pretended to think about it. He said, yeah, I think about it. Then he came back 20 minutes later, and he was like, it's a deal. You're doing it naked. Me and Jonathan high-five each other. Yes. And all of a sudden, we just realized, buddy, you got to do it as well.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wow. Like that.
It's more interesting like that. More important, more powerful.
But yeah, to say that, basically, my point being is, yes, because as the film event were going along, we all came up with different ideas about her. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't work. Julien had his idea for the film, what he really wanted to do, but at the same time, he was not close-minded. And if we had some good ideas, it was more than ready to think about it. He would say, okay, I think about it. Sometimes it would work, but most of the time it did work, or he tried to work around it, because we all knew about our character. So we all really worked together. So that's what was very interesting. It is not very often you can do that in a movie.
And then also you sort of like came up with the manga sort of like explanation in a way, and literally the last minute after a month. So I mean, he must have been having a heart attack, sort of like wondering,
Yeah, I had this idea 1 month after the shooting. So I told to Pascal, I think we need to shoot 1 more week, and we need to do this manga stuff. And he said yes. So we talked to the other producer, Paul and Raphael, and they are both of them agreed on this idea, because it was the best idea for the film.
Makes sense.
It makes sense.
It takes people completely by surprise.
Yeah, I think it's
and I think it really works as a result of that, doesn't it? I mean, it's just so brilliantly done.
What I find interesting about this movie is, as I said, it was not locked. It was always open-minded. Because it all happened very quick, they had an idea, obviously they had a script, but we worked as we went along. And I think what the actor gave to Julien gave him also some inspiration to run this way or that way, because, oh, okay, he can do that. all right, oh, okay, let's go into that direction. I know initially, in the first draft, you would, it wasn't supposed to be seen. You would hardly see me. And I think even perhaps he wasn't even sure about my acting skill. And as the film went along and what I gave him and stuff like that, I think even my character completely changed as the film went along. And it's great that you have the possibility to do that kind of film, where you got people in charge who actually know how to make a movie, because you can't, if you got too many information coming from left, right, and center, you can quite be lost. But he had this idea of his movie, but he's more warm and willing, depending on what we would give him idea-wise or acting-wise. He kind of changed the movie as he went along, and I think that's very one of a kind and a very interesting experience for me as an actor.
Because you're the hero, like, we've got to
Yes.
point that out.
Yeah.
Although as shocking as it seems when you first start off, you are the hero. So, yes.
It's the force of independent cinema. You can do all you want. You have not the obligation of financials.
Yeah, we were.
You do what we want. What we want. You want to shoot this.
I knew Raphael, one of the producers, told me, you know, if you do that movie, there is an issue for you. Maybe it will be your last movie, because if the movie is not good, after 8 years, you're out. You're going to be out of the business. So I accept that, and I shot it like my last movie. I accepted it.
Yeah, there was kind of magical thing. We found a lot of things, twists and tricks on the set. I remember the scene with the homeless. When we were on the set, I said, I can't feel it. I can't understand why they are doing that. And we thought, and it became just like that. Thinking, speaking, but it was on the set. It was the day of the shoot, and we found the perfect thing to do it 5 minutes before to shoot.
And we had, for that scene, we had 2 hours of shooting. It was crazy. A crazy summer. Really.
Yeah.
But you must be really pleased. I mean, it's getting a theatrical release in France in
Yeah.
November. I mean,
Yeah.
is it a wide release? I mean, is it, you know, how is it going to play?
Normally it's supposed to be like an 80 screen.
80 screen.
Is that good? Because I don't know.
It's not so bad. It's not so bad for that kind of movie. It's not so bad.
Wow.
Because it's a very independent movie. I mean, we made it with no help from the movie business. We made it because we had some good friends, producers with cash, but with no money from the government or from the TV. We made it by ourselves.
It's teamwork.
It was tough.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks to you. Merci
Great.
beaucoup.
Thanks to the FrightFest.